Hello, this is Teresa, personal finance enthusiast for beingbrokeisn'tcute.com, and I have a question for you. Are you the one friends and family turn to when they need gifts of money or a loan because they're coming up a little short? My question to you is, if you are, do you want to be? If you do, that is great. Keep doing what you're doing. But I do want to kind of put a little bug in your ear and tell you something. If they are coming to you regularly, are you becoming a crutch for them? Are you enabling them? Are you keeping them from taking financial responsibility for their own money? Because when they come up short, you're subsidizing that behavior. So I want you to think about that, kind of roll that over in your mind. Again, if you're happy doing it, it's not causing you any kind of financial stress or strain. It's not causing you any emotional stress or strain. It's not causing you any kind of relationship stress or strain. You're not arguing with your spouse about giving your sister or whoever money. Your mom and dad aren't coming on to you and saying, hey, you need to stop this. You're just enabling them or being a crutch or something like that. If it's not a problem and you want to continue doing it, continue doing it. But I do want to put that little bug in your ear that if it's something continuous, you may be enabling them and you may be becoming a crutch for them. And the problem with that is if you ever have financial problems, now there are two households in jeopardy because they're used to coming to you and now you're not able to give it, and they're even worse off because they don't know how to be financially responsible because they haven't had to be. So if your answer to that question is no, Teresa, I do mind and I would like to stop being the bank of Y.O.U. It is becoming a burden. It is causing problems in my relationships, in my finances, emotionally, whatever the situation is. Or you just are tired of giving them money. The amount has gotten up to, the total amount. Maybe you give them $50 here, $100 there, $200 there, and you started adding it up, and it's becoming, that number has gotten big. And believe me, big is based on what you think. Because if I have loaned somebody $1,000, that may be a lot of money to me. It may be a drop in the bucket to somebody else. If it's gotten up to $5,000, again, drop in the bucket for somebody else, I'm about to get mad. I'm mad at myself because how did it get this high? Anyway, if it's becoming some sort of burden, I have about 5 suggestions, tips to help you out with not being the bank of Y.O.U. First, figure out what you can give and just give it. It's not a loan, it is a gift, and they don't have to pay you back. And it also doesn't have to be the full amount. If brother is asking for $500 and you can comfortably give him $2, offer the $2 and let it be. Just let it be. Figure out what you can comfortably give and say, hey, I can't give you the $5, but if I can give you $200 and you're almost halfway there. Tip number 2, understand things could get a little uncomfortable because when they ask for $5 and you're only able to give $2, now they got to figure out where to get the other $3, and that may put a little pressure on them. They may call you being selfish because you've done it in the past. You've given the $500, put yourself in a strain, and just dealt with it instead of letting them deal with their financial irresponsibility or whatever the situation is on their end. They may try to blame your kids, your spouse, your parents, or whoever. Until before you got married, you would let me borrow whatever kind of money I want. Now your husband, wife, now who running the money? What they got to do with us? Well, if it's causing a financial strain on your marriage or, you can't do something for your kids because you let so-and-so have the money, that is a problem. So, understand, they might get angry, they might cry, whatever. It could get uncomfortable. 3, no matter what they say or do, you stay respectful. You keep your cool. And don't play the blame game. Do not play the blame game. This is not the time for you to say, well, I told you not to marry him. He wasn't working with you before y'all were dating. He ain't working now. I told you not to marry him. I told you not to have all them kids. This is not the time for that. It just isn't. And it's also not the time to get caught up or bring up old issues. Because, let me tell you, people will go, when you were sick, or when you were down, or when so-and-so left you, That could have been 20 years ago, and you have loaned and not been repaid 20 times that, whatever they did. And you may appreciate whatever they did to you at that time, and that's great, but that does not hold you accountable to be the bank of Y.O.U. for them indefinitely. Let's see, we're on number 4. Keep this conversation brief. Number 1, you don't owe them an explanation as to why you won't give them the money. Because sometimes the first thing out of their mouth is, why not? The answer to that is, because I've decided I do not want to. Period. If you want to go into an explanation, that's fine. But you do not have to lay down your own financial reports. You ain't got to come up with no, profit and loss statement and, income summary to prove to them that you don't have the money. You have just decided that 2 or 0 or whatever the amount, that's what you are willing to give, and that's it. And again, offer the gift amount. They need 5, you got 2, offer the gift amount. And let this amount not be up for negotiation. Well, I know you said 2, but can you give me 3? No, I can give you 2. Well, can you make it? No, I got 2 on it. It is your responsibility to come up with that other 3. Because if you keep this negotiation, if you start negotiating, they might just negotiate you back up to $500, and you are back in the same financial strain you would have been in. And the last one is, and I kind of like this one, do not allow other family and friends to put pressure on you giving. I mean, really, let's go back to the sister situation. If Sissy needs $500 and you say, Sissy, I can't, but I can give you $200 and it's a gift and you don't even have to pay me back. And she goes and calls your mom. Oh, Mama, I need $500. I went to so-and-so and she said she couldn't give me 5. She would give me 2. Mama, I need $500. Can you talk to her? And then your mama calls. Baby, your sister needs $500. Why don't you give her the money? Mama, I love you, but no. Sissy always needs, she needs $500 every month. And she just fly her and I do. No. I got 2. Mama, I'll give her 2. And, Mama, can you kick in some money? Can you give her 2? Let's see what we can come up with. See, ask that person to kick in some money too. That might just end the conversation. But you have to stay strong, but still be respectful. Okay, loaning money to family and friends. Wow, it can be tricky. Relationships have been ruined because of money. Either somebody not loaning the money, or somebody loaning the money and then not paying them back and putting them in a financial bind. I've heard of situations where people have loaned their rent money to somebody and they've turned and said, no, I'll pay you back before your rent is due. Next thing you know, they're being evicted because they can't pay their rent. So, you don't want to do that. You cannot put your financial life in jeopardy because of them. Now, if you can help, help. I'm not saying don't help them, cut them off, nothing like that. I'm saying give what you can comfortably give, and don't go over that. Just don't go over that. At some point, you have to put your foot down. And even if you can financially give it, if it's causing a stress or a strain in your relationship, you might want to look at it again. Is it worth giving up this relationship? Think about it. Really think about it. Put your foot down and say no. Because again, no is not only a word, it is a sentence. Can I have $500? No. Nothing wrong with that. That says it all. So I hope my tips help. I am Teresa, I forgot my title. I am a personal finance enthusiast, but being broke isn't cute. I want you to remember, being broke isn't cute, never has been, never will be. Find me on Facebook. I'm also on Twitter, and you can also check me out on my website, beingbrokeisn'tcute.com. See you next week.